Good morning. I so sincerely apologize for coming late. We are supposed to start this program by 10, but we had network issue. So I sincerely apologize. Let me quickly forward this link to Facebook. Thank you so much for joining. You can as well help us to share on your Facebook, on your WhatsApp, so others can know we are live and they can join on as well. Thank you so much for your patience. You are most welcome. Welcome. My name is Deborah Olukayode, and I'm excited to have you here on this live. I'm a writer, I'm an editor, I'm a publisher, I am a life coach, I'm a parenting mentor. I help parents to bring their children. I help parents with their children. I help you bring your story to life. You have any story within you, just tell us. We bring it live by publishing it for you so that others can hear your voice. And I also guide parents to raise emotional, strong, and confident to today's topic. Today we are looking at we are discussing important a very important topic titled bedwetting. Yes, bedwetting. And this topic is a very important topic because virtually every home have this issue of bedwetting and nobody is talking about it. We see it as something very shameful. We see it as something that no one should hear about. And I think there's need for us to talk about it. I've gone through it. Um, God has helped me to some level, and I know that what I know I'm here to share with you. So today we'll be discussing a very important topic. I know you are tired. Most of you are tired. You have used so many strategies. You've been taught so many things to do, but they are not working out. You have limit water drinking. Maybe when your child is going to bed, you limit their liquid intake. You have scolded them. You have even spanked them, and nothing has changed. This session is for you. Today we are going to be looking at why bedwetting, what mistakes to avoid, practical steps to help your children to stop with bedwetting. The practical step we're looking at it. So I encourage you to stay encouraged. Feel you can drop your comments in the comment section, and when it's time for question answers, and we'll attend to that. So let's dive into today's topic. What is bedwetting? What do you understand by that word bedwetting? Two words merged together. You're welcome to my life. If you're just joining, you can drop emoji. The Lord bless you. Thank you so much. Understanding bedwetting. So what is bedwetting? It has an English name that is called Noric. I can't pronounce it. If I pronounce, you may not understand. So let's just go straight to what bedwetting is all about. Okay, it is when a child involuntarily urinates in their sleep. A child involuntarily urinates in their sleep. Involuntarily, they do it unconscious. Yes, that is what it is. And it's common among young children. Yes, very common among young children. So, and it's something that we need to really look into. That is what bedwetting is all about. It's just there's no big definition about that. So sorry about that. There's no big definition about that. It's just that your child sleeps and wets the bed. That is what it's all about. But they do it involuntarily. They do it involuntarily. So why bedwetting? Why does bedwetting happens? Why does it happen? We have some common reasons why some children actually experience bedwetting. It could be a biological factor. Yes, some children have smaller bladders. Yeah, some children have smaller bladders and deep sleep. Children that have a very deep sleep, I have them in my house. Some, when as soon as you tap on them, they wake up. Some, you pour cold water on their head, they will still be sleeping. Children who have a very deep sleep, there is this tendency that they will actually they will urinate on their body while they sleep. So some biological factor, some children have a smaller bladder. If they have a smaller bladder, there's tendency that they will urinate when they sleep. Another thing, another factor to consider is developmental delay. This developmental delay, some children take longer for their bladder to gain to be able to grow to full level. We have children take longer to gain full balance control before they can gain balance control of their bladder. Some happens faster than others. Let me give you an example. I remember sometimes when um though it's not about bedwetting anyway, there was this particular story that my mom told me that at age 2, I was almost close to age 2, and there was no single teeth on my mouth. It became a concern, not actually to her, but to people around. People around find it, they see that something that is not common. How could a child not have teeth in her mouth at age 2? They were actually advising her, go to take her to the hospital, let them check her out. What could have been the problem? But my mom said she was not even worried, she was not disturbed at all. But after age 2, teeth start coming up. I start having my teeth. And the most common thing is that the most interesting part of it is that when I start bringing these teeth, I didn't disturb anybody. I was not sick. I was not having all these symptoms that children normally have when they are growing teeth, when they are teething. You we know the normal norms, the normal thing children go through. Some children start teething at month 3, some at month 4, even some at month 2. But for you to have a child who is almost 2 years and doesn't have a single teeth and can chew and eat anything in the house, so it became a concern to people, even though my mom was not that concerned. But she said by the time my teeth start coming in, it was not a challenge to her. I was just playing, I was just doing my thing. So you can't compare child A to child B. Same way, this developmental delay can also occur in bladder control development. Some children may develop their bladder earlier than the other. So some who may be 10, 11, 12 that did not, that their bladder did not develop like those of 5 months, or sorry, let's say 5 years, 4 years, 2 years, you can't compare them. Where we miss it is when we compare. So why does bedwetting happens? Number one, I told you the biological factor. Number two, I'm telling you about the developmental delay. And another thing is the genetic part of it. It happens due to genetic aspects. If one or both of your parents experience bedwetting when they were kids, there's this tendency that your children also can also bedwet. I bedwet. I bedwetting when I can practically recognize I was actually bedwetting. Sometimes I wake up so fast, when I check myself, I see myself, I'm wet. I will quickly start packing my bed, start packing my things, start washing up for nobody, so that nobody will get notice in the house and they start scolding me. For me to say this, that means I've grown to the level of understanding what I was actually doing was wrong. But this one is actually beyond my control. Now I have a child who does same. So it could be a genetic kind of a thing. We have another thing, we call it emotional stress. This emotional stress it occurs due to change in routine. You change school for your children, maybe there are some things that just change, the normal routes for your children change. Maybe there's an anxiety, or they are going through trauma. It can lead to bedwetting, but we don't consider those things. Another thing is medical condition. This medical condition has to do with their health, and some children might be diabetic. There's need for them to be checked in the hospital and confirm that they are not diabetic. Some have this UTIs, urinary infection tract. Some might be due to constipation. Some children might be constipated before even going to bed. So there's this tendency that when they get to bed, they will urinate on their body. Another thing, those are the things that may cause it. Those are the things, because if we do not know the cause, there's this tendency that we may not know how to tackle it. One of the things I mentioned is the biological factor, developmental factor, which is the delay. We have the genetic, and we also have emotional stress and medical factor. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's go to some things that we do say is that are not correct. Some uncommon truths. They are not these truths, they are not truths. Yes, they call them myths. myths. We base to work on that instead of working on the truth. Bedwetting means a child is lazy or irresponsible. That is a lie. Bedwetting means a child is lazy or irresponsible. No, most bedwetting cases are due to physical or developmental factors. Those are from the ones I've mentioned earlier. So you could see that that is a lie. It is not as if the child is lazy or the child is irresponsible. Another lie that we have been told is that only small children bedwet. Older children can also struggle with bedwetting, and it's still normal. We see it as something abnormal. It's still normal because their bladder may not have developed as it's supposed to. So these are common mistakes, and this is how we handle these issues as parents. Firstly, we yell at them. Something that was done not as if it was done unconsciously. They didn't do it consciously. How do we correct them? We yell at them. We shout at them. We scold them. We make the child to be ashamed. We shout on them, and the child start feeling ashamed. This can lower their self-esteem. Such children that urinate on their body, they have this low self-esteem, which can also affect them in the future. And it increases anxiety in them. They will be, and this anxiety inside of them because their self-esteem is already lower. This will make their self-esteem to be low, and it will increase anxiety, even making the problem worse. Yelling is not the solution. Yelling at them, scolding them, shouting on them is not the solution. Another mistake we take as parents is comparing our child to other. This is a very big mistake. You don't compare your child to another. If you have 3 children, you can check them all. They are not the same. The way they read is not the same. The way they play is not the same. What child A likes is actually different from what child B likes. Stop comparing your children. You may have 3 children, 4 children, 5 children at home. Maybe the oldest is the one urinating, and you compare them. Look at your younger brother. He's 2 years old and is not urinating on his body. You are reducing the self-esteem of that child you are talking to. That child will not be courageous. That child will not be bold enough. So when you are doing this, when you are comparing your child, or you are comparing your child to a neighbor's child, you are not helping them at all. That is what it does. So you should try as much as you can and ensure that you did not allow your child to go through that. Sorry for that distraction. Never compare your child. Comparison is out of it. You want to correct your child from urinating on his or her body? Kindly ensure that you did not compare them. Another thing is over-restricting liquid. Because your child urinates on his body, there's this tendency that you restrict them from taking in liquid. You want to drink water, say, no, drop that. I know you are going to urinate on your body. No. Their body need not to be dehydrated. When they are dehydrated, you are worsening the situation for them. Why it is good to limit drinking water before bed, you don't completely restricting them from being dehydrated. It is not the solution. Ensure that your child is well hydrated. If they have not been drinking water all through the day, There's this tendency that when they drink at night before bed, they might actually urinate on their body. So you have to study them very well and ensure maybe your child goes to bed by 9. Ensure that they drink water maybe by 8. By 9, they reduce the water intake, but not to just completely not allow them to drink water because they can be dehydrated. So what are the effective strategies that you can use to stop bedwetting? Number 1, establishing healthy habits. That is the beginning of the beginning. Establish a healthy habit. You need to create a consistent bedtime routine. There are some children that they sleep at any time. They watch cartoon to around 10. Maybe it was even that cartoon they watch until when they sleep in the living room, then you take them from there to their bedroom. If that child has this urinating, the bladder is not well developed, that child will actually urinate on their body. There should be a established healthy habits of when they go to bed. If you are going to establish a 9 p.m. routine of bedtime, it should be consistent. That is the first thing. Then encouraging your child to use toilet before bed. Encourage them to go to the toilet and ease themselves before going to bed. Monitor them. Don't just say it, go and urinate. A child who is already asleep, or you just woke up and you tell that child go and urinate, the child will go straight to bed without going to the toilet. So ensure you follow them up and ensure that they go to toilet to urinate, and reduce anything that is sugary in the evening. That is not when to drink bobo. In the evening, that is not when to drink coke. Anything that's very sugary, as they go to bed, try as much as you can to reduce it when it's evening. They can take that during the active hour of the early hours of the day, but when it's evening, they should reduce any content that is sugary and they should go to toilet before going to bed. Prepare sleep environments. Prepare their sleep environments. Use waterproof mattress protector to reduce stress and embarrassment. If your child is already urinating on he or herself on the body, ensure that you have this waterproof mattress that you can lay on the bed so that it will be very easy to clean up. We are still coming to other aspects of it, but I need to explain this aspect for you. Encourage your and praise progress. When a child has been urinating on their body for some time and you notice for almost a week they have not urinated on their body, encourage them. Praise them. Tell them, acknowledge their improvements. Not only scold them when they are doing it wrong, but praise them as well when they are doing it right. Encourage by praising them. Celebrate dry nights instead of focusing on the accidents. Celebrate their dry nights. There are some nights they did not urinate. Celebrate them. Acknowledge them. Wow, awesome. You didn't bedwet today. Wow, that's so good of you. You have just boosted that child's morale. You've just boosted the self-esteem of that child. Celebrate their dry nights. Reassure your child that bedwetting is temporal and not their fault. We have misinterpreted this area so much. We blame them for bedwetting. We blame them, and this is something that is practically not their fault. Reassure them, reassure your child that they might be going through now, but it's temporal. It's not something that is going to be consistent. So number 3, special tools that can help. There are some things that can help your child from waking up. We have this bedwetting alarm. There are some alarms that can help your child to wake up and get themselves to use the toilet. This device wake the child when urination starts, helping train bladder control. You can get them, we have them on you can get them on Jumia, you can get them on Amazon. There are some places you can get these tools. It's very helpful. It's very helpful. Bedwetting alarm. Then there's this one we call bladder training. Encourage your child to practice holding their urine a little longer during the day. During the day, they can practice it. Call that child to yourself. Tell them anytime you want to urinate, you feel pressed to go to urinate, just tell me. So you allow them, though they are very pressed to go and urinate, stay with them, allow them to hold that urinate. They are practicing their bladder. They are exercising their bladder to know to be able to retain urine for some time. That is how you can help them. These are practical ways you can help them during the day. They can practice that as well, and it's very effective, very, very effective. Another thing, number 4, is address emotional and medical factors. If stress or anxiety is involved, have open and reassuring conversation with your child. Some of us, we don't even talk to our child. Have this reassuring conversation with your child. Speak with them, talk with them. Know if they are going through some emotional stress. Some children actually go through emotional stress, but we are not aware. Until when you sit your child down, you talk to them as if you are talking to a friend, you bring them to sit, then you see them express themselves. If there's something that is worrying them or something disturbing them, sometimes in school they may have someone who is stressing them, or there's a subject that is stressing them, and since you don't have time for them, they may not be able to express to them. So express with you. So what you need to look for time to create this